Amy, let me tell you about a magical place that is so exactly designed to be enclosed space, year-round fun for the whole family that I bet you already know what I'm going to say before I even say the name. Let's say it together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Great Wolf Lodge. You got it, Amy.
My kids loved Great Wolf Lodge when we went. You probably already know that it has a huge indoor water park with a wave pool, lazy river, a bunch of massive water slides. But then your pack can hit the other attractions because wait, there's more.
Great Wolf Lodge has adventure-packed attractions like Magi Quest, a live-action game kids can play throughout the lodge, plus the Northern Lights Arcade. Spent some quality time there, so your kid who loves the lazy river and your kid who loves fantasy games will both have a great time.
Great Wolf Lodge also offers great dining options and complimentary daily events like nightly dance parties. All under one roof. Unpack the car once and you're settled in to have fun. And with 22 lodges across the country, you're always a short drive away from adventure.
We've both had such great times at Great Wolf Lodge, so bring your pack together at a lodge near you. Learn more at greatwolf.com and strengthen the pack. Okay, folks, we're throwing it back today. Way back to episode 36 when we used to even say episode numbers. This is our Sick Day Hacks episode. We were about to record an episode called Sick Day Hacks, and then we Googled ourselves and realized we'd already done an episode called Sick Day Hacks. And so unfortunately, here is a much needed episode. We're already hearing from our friends in the South whose kids have been in school for over a month now that we're starting to do sick days, and it's looking like this year might be not great for sick days, and we got to take the happy with the sad. Hopefully our kids will be in school more than they were in 2020, but we're still going to have to face some sick days. And so Amy and I have a funny conversation about all of the things we can do to get through sick days. Do I suggest threatening your kids with vacuuming so that they won't take a sick day? Yes, I do. It's still working at my house. My kids know that if they're sick, I'm like, no screens, and I'm going to make you vacuum. And often it is enough to make them go to school. You know, we talk about it. I think that the problem with sick days is that middle part. So like a kid who's really sick and just laying around, bad. A kid who's vomiting, bad, but not that bad if you just have a bucket and let them lay down. The worst is the kid who stays home sick and then still has enough energy to really, really bother you all day. And for those kids, I offer this singular solution of threaten to make them vacuum. But if that doesn't happen to work for your particular situation, as the kids say, your mileage may vary. The kids actually don't say that. They used to say that back in the day, YMMV on the early webs. I don't think they say it anymore. But if that one doesn't work for you, we have plenty of other advice that comes up in this episode. We talk about how to deal with the fact that it's often mom who has to stay home. We talk about how to find activities for sick days. We definitely talk about what kind of activities are a bad idea on sick days. And this was something I had forgotten until I re-listened. And I was like, oh yeah, that is actually a really good tip. Lots of great stuff in this episode. It is an older one, so you hear a little bit of Margaret was still editing and everyone sounds slightly auto-tuned like early days Britney Spears. But forgive us for that and enjoy this episode of Sick Day Hacks.
I feel like if kids are homesick for one day, whatever, just put the TV on. What fresh hell?
Laughing in the face of motherhood. You have to really think about what the big picture of the sick day looks like with Margaret Abels
and Amy Wilson. You gotta have the sick day stuff around ahead of time. A podcast that solves today's parenting dilemmas
so you don't have to. The only thing I care about in life is eliminating party favor bags from the universe. Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 36. This is Margaret.
This is Amy. And today we're talking about sick day hacks, which used to be called hints.
Right.
Remember
like
hints from Heloise?
Exactly. We love dating ourselves. Our job on this show is to give you parenting tips and to make you feel young. Because we say things like hints from Heloise.
They could have been called tips or hints for our mothers, but today.
Right, but we're modern ladies, so we call them hacks.
These are hacks for when you're hacking or your kids are hacking.
Very clever, Amy. Very clever.
I know.
Did you think of that beforehand?
I did. I thought of it on the walk home from drop off.
Good. Solid puns.
But there is a brief update that I would like to give on my fish, because I think we decided once and for all that a fish was the worst pet. No, it didn't die.
Oh, sorry.
No. Would that were the case? No.
Yes, I was thinking we had good news.
This is what happened. I noticed that Nina was like looking a little droopy around in her tank, and then I thought, hello, like stop anthropomorphizing your fish. Like fish, the good news is fish don't have really any awareness of anything, so that's a good thing because she lives in this little tank. And then the New York Times put out an article like 2 weeks ago saying fish can totally get depressed, and actually, like, mental health experts study betta fish to learn about depression, and you can tell if your betta fish is depressed when it's like really drooped over and looking depressed. And I look over at the tank, and she's so depressed.
Gee, so are you giving her fish Prozac now?
I have a depressed fish. Well, I'm moving her tank around the house, trying to make it like a little more interesting to look to things to look at. And then as I'm doing that, I look down into the tank, and I notice she's got one eye like bugging way out of her head and not the other one. Oh. Nina has Popeye, which is caused when a fish swims around in water that isn't being cleaned often enough. So now I wish she would just pass to the fish afterlife, but I have
she does too.
depressed fish with a Popeye, looking at me balefully.
I feel like our listeners are going to call Fish Protective Services on you.
Seriously, don't get a fish, guys.
Can you get that fish some clean water and a nicer tank?
Yeah, my kids are like, we need to get her a nicer tank. I'm like, sure, let's put that on the to-do someday list.
Oh, Jesus. That was a depressing... Oh,
I know, it's
now
a depressing
I'm depressed,
update.
like your beta fish.
If you weren't yet certain that a fish is the worst pet, they're the worst pet.
Okay, don't get a fish. And definitely if you're a fish, don't go live at Amy's house. It's a two-way street. Both. Especially
on sick days when your kid is home to be like, Mom, Nina's eye looks crazy. It's just more time to notice it.
Horrifying. All right.
Yes.
So sick day hacks. You've had a daughter who's been sick quite a bit. She's home from school.
Yes. And just yesterday, everybody will know what I'm talking about. Like, I go to wake her up yesterday morning, and she's like, Mom, I really don't feel well today. And in my mind, I go to my calendar where I had set aside 3 hours to write, and then I was going to do this, and then I was going to do that. And it's like, okay, re-racking my day. Yeah, because I feel like if kids are homesick for one day, whatever, just put the TV on.
Right.
But if like the whole house is sick for 3 days, or heaven forbid you're sick, you need some more ideas.
Yeah. And so I would like to start sick day hacks with the ultimate sick day hack, which is make sick days as unfun as possible. So we had a situation last year where my oldest, who is a very anxious youngster and has a lot of anxiety around school, he started getting sick, started missing a bunch of days of school because he was sick. And his sickness was that he was throwing up. So if you throw up in school, they send you home and you have to stay home for 24 hours.
Right.
They won't let you back. And I started kind of charting it out, and I was like, wait a minute. He seems to be often getting sick on Tuesdays. What goes on Tuesdays? It turned out Tuesday was quiz day. So he was getting so nervous that he was like actually getting sick. And he really did have that thing of like the nervous stomach. Like it was, they say that, but like they've done studies and you have like nerve receptors in your stomach. Like that's why they say nervous stomach, because you actually do feel anxiety in your stomach.
Oh, yeah.
And then I made the mistake a couple of times when he was home, because I was busy and trying to get stuff done and cleaning and writing and whatever else I had on my to-do list, of sticking him in front of an iPad all day. And then he started making, I think very unconsciously, I do not think it was manipulative, he was making this connection of like, quizzes are horrible. They make me nervous. I don't want to do them. And when I throw up, I don't have to take the quiz, and I get to go home and watch iPad all day. It's like my perfect day, basically. I get to play screens all day.
Right.
And so I, at some point, started saying, there's no screens on sick days. We don't watch any screens when you're sick. You can read, you can play quietly, or you can lie in bed until you fall asleep. What you can't do is watch TV all day. And eventually, and then we started working on the school end a little bit with like dealing with how he could feel less anxious around the quizzes. And he stopped missing school on Tuesdays, stopped throwing up. Mm-hmm. You have to really like think about what the big picture of the sick day looks like if that's an issue for you.
Yeah. My daughter is home, a fair amount the last 2 years, and she wants to watch like Liv and Maddie and just Sour Patch Kids television, I call it, right? Like the most like brightly colored, sour tasting junk.
Right.
And I've similarly said, okay, you know what? I do let her watch TV sometimes because I like have to like take a shower or something or go to the dentist.
Right.
But I have at least laid the rule down that like no more of this. We can watch animal documentaries. We can watch Planet Earth. It has to be something educational, or even like the British baking show. Like that's fine with me too. But no more of this sassafras, tween stuff that she's watching. Some of it for the third time through. No.
The other big sick day hack that is a huge problem is coverage. We now both work at home, but last year I was working out of the house, and the sick day is like, it becomes a bit of a negotiation between you and your spouse. Like, wait, who stays home? Who does this? Like, who's got to stay home with the sick kid?
Right.
Because you don't have childcare and they can't stay home by themselves. So that negotiation is really complicated.
Well, in our house, it's my husband, has a job where he gets a paycheck every 2 weeks, and I don't. So it's pretty clear who is the one who stays home. But it's not great. I mean, it's not awesome to be the one who's doing it 100% of the time.
No, and it goes back to that like invisible work default parent thing that we've talked about before, which is, I think for most moms, it's a generalization, but for most moms, there is an expectation that you're going to be the one who stays home with them, no matter what else you might have on your schedule.
That's just the way it is. When the school nurse calls, they're gonna, if it's a mom and dad family, they're gonna call the mom first.
Right. And if it was me and I was at my office in the city, I was coming home to pick them up.
Mm. And that's a hassle. That's like an hour away. You'd have to leave and come and
hour away, have to leave. And also, this is like we're like way roaming. We've already been on Fish Disgusting Eye, and now we're roaming into a whole other issue of like, it does undercut you at work. I was the person who, during the big meeting where we were strategizing all the future prospects, I would be the person who got a call from the school nurse, and you're leaving that meeting. It's like, it's a difficult thing for women being that point person, because fundamentally it kind of undercuts you on a lot of levels.
Well, this is kind of why I wanted to talk about this, because when you're in that position and you're re-racking your day and you're trying to make some semblance of what you were supposed to get done still happen, the TV is the easy answer, but it's not the right answer. And as you say, it just encourages your kid to stay home more. So my sort of goal for this was come up with things that are creative and get the kid involved and get the kid using their mind that don't involve 100% constant oversight from mom.
Yes.
So that you can go do your work call.
Both of us have had kids who've missed more school than usual.
Yes.
And so that is part of what we're saying, which is if your kid's home one day of the year because they're sick, let them lie down on the couch and watch cartoons. We don't care. But can you come up with some sick day hacks that make a little bit more sense in the big picture after the break?
Hellions, it's time for some spring cleaning, and I don't just mean the coat closets. Doing your financial spring cleaning can actually be super easy when you let Monarch do your financial spring cleaning for you. One dashboard that gets your entire financial life organized. No more clutter, no more mess, no more logins scattered everywhere, just accounts, investments, property, and more, all in one place. Get your first year of Monarch for half off, just $50 with promo code FRESH. Monarch allows you to look not only at what you've already spent, but also to plan for the future. With Monarch, you can set savings goals, plan for big purchases, and notice spending trends before they become a problem. I can generate cash flow reports that show me what we spent this quarter, this month, what we're probably going to spend next month, and feel prepared, organized, and knowing how to plan for the future. No more surprises and a lot more clarity. Try Monarch. Use code FRESH at monarch.com to get your first year half off at just $50. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with code FRESH.
My favorite skincare products actually feel more like self-care, like they're so nice to put on and they smell so good that I'm actually happy when I get to that part of my day. And I swear that is how I feel about Osea's anti-aging body balm.
Amy, you are usually the lotions and potions queen on this podcast, but I have to say, hard agree.
Osea's anti-aging body balm is a liquid silk body balm that combines the lasting hydration of a lotion with the firming power of a serum, leaving skin smoother and firmer.
This body balm is clinically tested and designed to deliver visible results you can see and feel.
So we've gotten to use this product for a couple of months now, and I swear I have really noticed firmer and smoother skin, like on the back of my hands. It's like getting a mini spa treatment from head to toe.
Get a spring-worthy glow with clean, clinically tested skincare from Osea. And right now, we have a special discount just for our listeners.
Get 10% off your first order site-wide with code FRESH at OseaMalibu.com.
That's 10% off your first order with code FRESH at OSEAMalibu.com.
Well, I'll start with what doesn't work. This was a good tip, I thought, from the Parenting Magazine editors. They have an article I'll put up on the show pages called "Activities for Kids on Sick Days." But the best tip I thought they gave was for little kids and big kids. Kids who were under the weather, or even a kid who threw up because he was nervous about a test but still has a stomach ache. Those kids, their frustration tolerance is lower. They're going to get frustrated more easily. So if your kid is cranky, it's not really the time to introduce a new skill or challenge them.
Good point. Very good point. Because the thing of like, you're home, so let's do this 3,000 piece puzzle. No.
Yeah. Just yesterday, with my daughter, I was like, okay, you're home and you've been watching TV and that's it. And the TV's off and let's do some math. I set up a math thing on the computer for her, which immediately frustrated her. She was immediately like, it's getting mad at me. It was giving her a frowny face.
Talk about anthropomorphizing.
Right. I'm like, one, it's a computer. Two, it's a game. And then I'm like, okay, let's just do the timetables. Let's do our 8 timetable. And it just turned into a major battle royale between her and me because her times tables are frustrating when she doesn't feel sick. And here I was like, right now we're doing the times tables. It was not a good sick day hack. And
can I just put in an aside about the times tables? Because we're struggling with them at my house too. I don't know my times tables, people. It's going to be fine that the kids don't know their times tables. It's fine.
Oh, I disagree.
8 times 7?
35.
8 times 7? 56? What's 8 times 7?
56.
See, I had it. But like, I don't really know them. I have to look a lot of them up.
You need to know them so that you don't have to make that computation in your head while the other people who have them memorized are on to the next step.
Yeah, I guess so. You know me, less pressure.
I'll come to your house. Well, here's my times table hack.
FaceTime me in when you're running them with your daughter because I could use a little help.
We can
7 times 7, 49?
Very good.
See, I do. They're in there real deep somewhere. I guess that's the thing. You got to get them memorized rote in there in your lizard brain so that you could just do them like that.
Well, in the end, I just printed them out in really big font and just sort of laid them on the coffee table in front of her. Like, can you just glance at these? Can you just let them pass your eyes as you look around so that maybe you can learn them that way? It was not the time for me to really teach her anything. So unfortunately that's part of the sick day. But I have a really good sick day hack that this never occurred to me. Stephanie Morgan, she has a blog called Momtastic, and I'll put this up on the show page too. And she had some ideas when sickness has you stuck at home. And she suggested, this is for younger kids, I suppose, she suggested baking. And at first glance, you're like, baking? Like that's the last thing you want to do with your kid who has a stomach bug is have them bake.
Right. It's a bit Typhoid Mary-ish.
Right. Yeah. But she's like who cares? You don't have to eat what they're baking. You don't even have to have a recipe that like a 4-year-old can get 45 minutes easy out of putting some flour in a bowl and then adding water and then kneading it and then maybe putting in some food coloring and like that the baking is the sort of hands-on art activity means to an end and then just throw it away. I thought that was
I will say that's idea. A young child life hack in general. Baking is such a great activity with kids. It's time consuming. It has tangible results. You work on math, fractions, adding. It's baking is an awesome activity with kids. It's great.
But if you need to be on that work call or get this, polish of the article done or whatever, they can be standing at the kitchen counter.
I don't know. Can you imagine leaving a 4-year-old in a kitchen full of baking stuff while you're
I'm not
on a
saying
work
leave.
call?
I'm not saying leave, but I'm just saying.
I feel like it's not compatible. I feel like it's not a great activity for like you're trying to get stuff done, but it is a good activity for kill the time. Get the time over. I don't think you can do like, oh, here's some food coloring and water and flour. I'll be back when I'm done with my 45-minute work. I mean, if you ever want to be able to use your kitchen again, don't do that.
All right, you're right.
But it is a great overall time passing activity with a sick kid.
She had
with a kid who's like drooping and blah and did that kind of disgusting sick, maybe no, but everyone knows this kid. I mean, my son is exactly like this. In the other day, horrible earache, writhing in pain, crying all night, miserable. Clearly, he's not going to school. He has a fever. And then by 11 o'clock in the morning, he's completely normal. He's fine, And that's
so frustrating.
Get the baking stuff out.
Yeah. Right. Right, because they do need. I see with my daughter. No, it's no different than being home with a newborn. That the things that they tell new moms, like, get some structure in your day. I mean, I dragged my daughter off the couch yesterday. We're getting dressed, and she's like, "Why?" I'm like, you're getting dressed.
What?
We're getting dressed, and then it's book on tape time, and then it's this, and then it's that.
You still got to structure the day. That's right.
You got to structure the day because. Not only does it keep you from losing your mind that they're watching, DuckTales, but also they do start to act better.
Yes.
I learned this from my daughter's doctor a long time ago. She was recovering from sort of a chronic illness, and she said, "Stop asking her how she's feeling, because she is going to act better long before she tells you she's feeling better. So look for the acting better." And it's the sort of fake it till you make it thing. And if your kid who is sort of drooping around, if they've got their hands in the flour and they're, spooning out baking soda and enjoying themselves, they're all of a sudden feeling better. So it is.
And
it is
for
worth
sure,
doing this.
it is the kind of thing that, like, not making that mistake as I did of sick days are a time you get everything you want. That is problematic. And that is what happens, like, with my son who... It's not to say at all that any kid is faking it. It's like they're not making it up, but you don't want to lean in to them being sick. You want to lean out from them being sick, because if you lean into them being sick by being like, "Oh, sweetheart, let me take care of your every need, and we'll let you watch Liv and Maddie all day, and let me da-da-da-da-da, and you just stay in your pajamas." Like, of course, on some level of their cortex, they're going, "Wait, this is so much better than real life,"
I believe it's called secondary gain.
Secondary gain.
It's pretty primary, actually, right?
It really is. It really is. And that's right. And so things, I mean, my mom, who did counseling her whole life, will tell you that secondary gain danger is true for people as they go throughout their whole lives. Like, you may be engaging in a behavior that is primarily negative, but your secondary gain is so rewarding that you'll keep doing that bad thing. And that's something with kids that you have to really just keep an eye out for. Like, my son doesn't like throwing up, but his secondary gain from throwing up was missing quiz time and being home and watching TV all day. And so he would say, like, "I'm sick, I hate it," but I had to be very, very careful not to feed that secondary gain of, when you feel anxious, if you throw up, you get this giant pile of gold, which is getting out of the quiz and staying home all day and doing whatever you want.
I was that kid, by the way. In third grade, my gym teacher, Mrs. Loftus, still haunts my dreams. She just was like a gym teacher from Central Casting, like emphasis voice.
The lady from Glee.
And it was the 70s, so it just was... Like, we played dodgeball every time, and
it was just like boys throwing a hard rubber ball directly in your face.
No, it was that
horrible,
and I hated
like
it.
Changing in that chilly locker room, and you're like, "Why am I nude at school? This is horrible."
We had a march. We went to this little parochial school, and we had a march like up the hill in the cold into the gym, nothing in it for me, and so
nothing in it for you.
And I don't really remember. I remember feeling sick and needing to stay home. I don't really remember as a 8 or 9 year old, whatever I was, if I realized, wait a minute, I'm feeling sick because it's gym day. I think I more thought like, oh, good, what a coincidence! It's gym day and I have a stomachache again, so guess I get to stay home.
My son, exactly the same. He was 8. He wasn't manipulating his way out of it. It was a natural extension of having to go to Quiz day.
And P.S., the stomach ache was real, right? I mean, caused by anxiety.
It was 100% real. That's right.
That throw up was real.
Oh, no, believe me, it's volumes of stuff coming out of his mouth. He wasn't faking it.
But yeah, it took my mother, I think, a couple of months to be like, wait a minute. So that's good parenting by her and by you to say, wait a minute, this is every Tuesday and Thursday this is happening. And
Right. There is something, you're really getting something out of this. And so that's a good, the biggest sick day hack for me is like figuring out a way to just, I talk a lot about this with like all sorts of behavior, that when the baby wakes up in the middle of the night, you don't interact with, it's blank face time. You're completely neutral. If you have to change its diaper, whatever, you don't start a party at that time. You blank face it. When the toddler is throwing the insane tantrum, you don't go, calm down, or, oh no, honey, what's wrong? You blank face it. You neutralize things so that you're not, my pediatrician said a long time ago, the toddler is playing with the Jack in the Box and you're the clown. And like, don't pop out everything they do, because then they're just going to keep winding. Like, that's the expression, winding you up. They like to see it pop. Sickness is another thing I think you have to neutralize and blank face, because it's like, you don't want to feed the secondary.
So I have another hack when it's like you don't want them to watch TV and they really are like feeling too sick to do too much of anything.
Hack me.
Audiobooks. I actually...
Yeah, you know what? This is the second time you've said audiobooks, and I have a reluctant reader, and I keep thinking audiobooks is a great idea.
When my daughter is home from school for 2 or 3 days, and she's getting behind in the book that they're reading with their class, and she's like, she's pretty sick, but she can listen to the book and keep up with her class that way. She has books that she listens to fall asleep at night. I try to do sort of relaxation techniques and meditation, meow, 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 and she's not interested. Those don't fly with her.
That's not working.
She just wants to listen to The Girl Who Drank the Moon and it even has a sleep timer. So she listens to it for 8 minutes and then it shuts off by itself and she's asleep. So
clever.
I heartily recommend them. Just last night, I told her I was doing this episode and what should I say? And she said audiobooks.
Oh,
so,
good job.
Done.
I like that. That's a good one.
The other thing she came up with, my daughter, and this is a pretty good one if you have a daughter a daughter or a son who is into these things. My daughter loves American Girl dolls, and they have a YouTube channel called American Girl DIY. It's actually called American Girl Ideas. And she made a little TV dinner for her doll. It involves a little bit of a trip to the art store or digging through your closet, yes, but she makes things for her dolls, teeny tiny iPhones, and it keeps her quite busy. And I don't really, other than making sure that she has what's required, I don't really have to get that involved.
I'm trying to pretend that American Girl dolls don't exist because I have a 5-year-old. And someone gave her one, and I'm like, yeah, that's just a dolly. It's a nice dolly. Like, I'm like, do not learn the term American Girl doll, or we're going down the rabbit hole.
It might be okay because your daughter is 5 still or 6?
5.
Okay,
5.
So she's 5, Maggie's 10. Maggie does not ever think that there will be a time that she doesn't love American Girl dolls as much as she does now. But I'm going to think when she's 14 and your daughter's 9, I might have a few 100,000.
Keep those things in good shape, Amy.
Yes.
I just might have stepped in a gold mine right here. I'm so glad we recorded this episode.
Right
That's
now.
Right. Our timing might be really on point there. All right.
The YouTube thing, it's like there just was an article about...
Who cares about sick day hacks, guys? I just hit a treasure trove of American Girl doll stuff.
Listeners are going to be like, I have an 8-year-old girl. Anyway,
we should set up an all-listener American Girl exchange,
They are so important for just a few years. And you know what? That's my sick day hack for her. She goes up in her room and she makes like worlds and scenes for her dolls, and then she goes on the internet and finds, today I'm gonna make them a fidget spinner. I'm like, okay, and then can you print this out for me? Yes, and then a little bit of foam board and some stuff in the printer, and she's cutting and gluing, and she makes her doll a fidget spinner, and it takes her 45 minutes, and then it's almost lunchtime.
It's solid activity.
Speaking of lunchtime, here's another good sick day hack. This one I got from. It's an obvious one, but it occurred to me when I read it on Carrie McBride's article on apartment therapy, that you got to have the sick day stuff around ahead of time. Like, stick it in your pantry. You need the, Gatorade can of chicken soup, the saltines, the ginger ale. Like, don't wait till your kid is sick and there's nobody to run out and get it.
When I lived in LA, you were supposed to have an earthquake box. You need a sick day box. That's a good one that I hadn't thought of.
Yeah.
That's right. Because now it's like, I mean, my 9-year-old, I'm like, I got to go to Rite Aid, lay here on the couch. But if you have a 5-year-old, it's dicier.
It's hard. Yeah. I don't know, like the lotion-y kind of tissues.
Yeah.
Cough drops.
Booger wipes or whatever.
I haven't done this, but I'm going to do it now. Like, I'm going to make sure I have this stuff ready to go.
Yeah. Especially if you've got little ones, that's a really good hack. I never would have thought of that. Mine are now almost at an age where I can just lay them on the couch and go run. But yeah, that is solid. I like that
It's a good one. And related to that, you need to go through, I just was doing this week, going through our medicines, which gets so like junky, right? I have one place that all our medicines go, and I'm going through them like, okay, this one's expired. Like, you do kind of need to have children's Tylenol, Benadryl, I don't know, like that stuff around. Because what if it's a Saturday? You have that stuff ready to go.
That's solid too. Yeah. And then it's like you got to have the space in the house for that. And you've got to just have it all kind of ready to go. I have one area of our bathroom that I call the pharmacy. And it's like just everything's lined up in there. Like the chest rub, the menthol chest rub that keeps them from, and then the humidifier that always has that like moldy mess in the bottom of it. And you think like, this has got to be worse for them than just having a cold. Like, what you're basically blowing like swamp pox into their room through that thing.
I don't like waste, but I do feel like humidifiers are sort of single-use items, or like maybe 2 weeks, but then just get a
they really
humidifier.
are. But of course we don't. We just use them again and again and again. We bleach them out and put vinegar in them, and then we just start all over again. We're probably giving our children swamp pox from those things. I think we should take a break, and then I'm going to come back with my controversial yet always effective sick day hack.
Can't wait.
Get excited.
Amy, when I'm having a good hair day, it usually makes my whole day better. And that's why on every day, I'm taking Nutrafol.
Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand. And it's the #1 hair growth supplement brand personally used by dermatologists. Nutrafol's hair growth supplements are peer-reviewed, NSF certified for sport, and clinically tested.
Nutrafol offers multiple formulas for men and women tailored to different life stages and lifestyle factors, so you get support that's actually right for you. Adding Nutrafol to your daily routine is easy. Order online, no prescription needed, with automated deliveries and free shipping to keep you on track.
Let your hair be one less thing to worry about. See visibly thicker, stronger, faster-growing hair in 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol.
For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you visit Nutrafol.com and enter promo code LAUGHING.
That's Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code LAUGHING.
All my kids learned to swim when they were little. It was super important to me that they be confident and safe in the water. There was only one problem with that: taking them to swim lessons. I mean, the pools were freezing. There were always cranky adults doing laps right there. And it was definitely not, for any of us, what you would call fun.
Amy, heard. But now there's Goldfish Swim School. Goldfish takes a really thoughtful approach to swim lessons, combining research-based teaching with a warm, kid-friendly environment that actually helps kids thrive in the water.
Every detail at Goldfish is thoughtfully designed to create a golden experience, from shiver-free, warm indoor pools to comfy waiting areas for parents to professionally trained lifeguards on deck.
Goldfish uses an approach called the science of swim play, which combines guided play with proven teaching techniques to help kids learn to swim, build water safety skills, and gain confidence, all at their own pace. Lessons are designed to meet kids exactly where they're at.
If you've been thinking about swim lessons or just wondering where to start, this is a great opportunity. Right now, Goldfish Swim School is offering a waived membership plus your child's first lesson free at participating locations.
Just visit goldfishswimschool.com/free to find a location near you and enroll using promo code FREE.
That's goldfishswimschool.com/free, promo code FREE.
And now, your guide to a week home with a sick child from the What Fresh Hell podcast. Monday.
Mommy, I don't feel good.
Oh, sweetheart, let me feel your head. Oh, yeah, you've got a fever, all right. Okay. Let's get you all comfy on the couch and I'll make you some toast and ginger ale. We can spend all day drawing pictures and making macaroni necklaces.
Tuesday.
Mommy, I'm still not feeling good.
I'll call the school, let them know you're not coming. Here's the remote. In a couple of hours, we can do a little baking or something.
Wednesday.
Look, your temperature is only 101.2. I think that is practically normal, so you should go.
Hi, Mom. The nurse says you need to come get me.
Thursday.
It smells like a men's locker room in here. You need to take a shower.
Friday.
Mom, can you bring me a Gatorade and some pretzels?
Well, the doctor said it's just a virus. So listen, kid, if you are not actually vomiting, you're going to help me vacuum, and then we're folding some laundry.
Saturday.
Finally, we can just sit on the couch and relax.
I feel so much better. What are we doing to Steve today?
Okay, we're back. Do you have any guesses?
Just surprise me.
I make my kids vacuum when they stay home sick. What? Vacuuming is my ultimate sick day hack. Whenever my kids are homesick, I'm like, let's vacuum.
How's it go?
It seems to discourage sick days. I mean, it's fine. They kind of like running the vacuum. Like they're still young. So that for them, it's still like, oh my God, I get to use the vacuum. But it kind of also implies completely incorrectly to them that when they stay home from school, what I do is like work and tidy the house the whole time. And they don't want any part of that business. Like Saturday is the day of fun. Holidays, snow days, we have a great time. But if you stay home on a Tuesday, it's time to clean the living room. It's time to reorganize the sock drawer. And so it gives them the impression that when they're home, that's what's happening.
I like that idea. Just this week with my daughter, I had to be with her. And yet I don't want to make it too interesting, right? So she sat on my bed while I did a complete, total closet re-rack, right? Like, I'm going to get rid of this or this. What do you think? Do you like this? And of course, she wanted me to keep everything that I was going to get rid of someday so that she could have it. Like, it was like,
oh, that's so cute.
Disco dress ups and stuff.
And it's like 2 lanes. It's like the choice is like lay down and take a nap or help me vacuum.
Right.
Those are your options. That's the sick day options. The sick day options aren't like come with me to do something fun or watch the iPad. The sick day options are sleep or vacuum.
And that's, again, like maybe a 2-year-old you can't really do that with, but yeah, a 10-year-old can lie there and chit-chat with you and help you decide what you're going to keep and not, and then put the stuff in
I think all these sick day hacks probably reasonably start at school age. A kid under 5, is less likely to be getting secondary gains from being sick. You can really tell when a kid under 5 is sick. I mean, they're like leaking from every opening and they're just disgusting and feverish and gross.
And they're too young to manipulate, certainly.
And they're too young to and manipulate is like a funny word because I don't believe that my son was ever being manipulative, but he was in a kind of a gray space. And so,
but yeah,
a kid under 5, keep them home, feed them soup, let them do whatever they need.
Toddlers will run until like felled by a 103-degree fever or actually stopping to vomit, right? They will just keep going. They don't.
Yes.
I don't think they notice that they're nearing the precipice in the same way that older kids do.
Another sick day hack is Legos. It's not that unique or insightful, but my son, who was legit homesick, my big guy, he had from his birthday this gigantic one of those like crazy Legos. It was from it was the Lego movie, the Ninjago one, and it was like this giant Ninjago palace. And he worked on it for 6 hours and he finished it. Like that was his sick day.
That's the perfect.
And I'm going to give a little plug for a friend of mine who has a son who had a childhood cancer and spent a lot of his time in Los Angeles Children's Hospital. And he does a drive. So go to Facebook. Sam's Lego Drive. The name's Sam's Lego Drive. And they're always collecting for kids who are in hospitals.
Oh, so this is Legos. So like when your kids are too old for Legos, you can give them a good home?
They're new. No, they have to be new. And so it's just a complete like go buy a Lego for kids who are sick, because what they found in their own like sick months hacks were that, for kids who can't get out of bed, kids who really struggle with being sick, Legos are like the perfect thing. Any kid can sit and do Legos right in front of them. So as we're talking about sick day hacks, go to Sam's Lego Drive on Facebook and buy a Lego and send it to
It's a good idea. I mean, I do set aside those birthday presents sometimes, right? Stick them under the bed, and you bring out the stuff they haven't seen. Are you ready for it?
You've talked about that before, and that's a great sick day hack. It's like we have someone gave my kids a slime making kit, and I just put it away because I'm like, someday we're going to be like, what are we going to do today? It's turned out to be horrible weather and the game got canceled and it's going to be like, guys, we're making slime, and that's going to seem really fun.
It doesn't even have to be new toys. It just has to be maybe a toy they haven't seen in a while. You have to do, it's the preschool director hack of you can't have all the toys out all the time. Put away the doctor set or the pizza making set for a month and then pull it out again and leave it in the middle of the floor, and it's become newly incredibly interesting again.
That's a great, and I do, and if you can do it when the birthday presents come in, you get 15 birthday presents and you put 5 away. That's a good thing to have up your sleeve too, because something in a box is like, whoa, that seems like the most exciting thing in the world.
Right. Are you ready?
If it's coming out of a box, like if it's like, oh, here's your old thing, it's a maybe 50-50 proposition. But I'm telling you, if it's in the box and it's shrink wrapped, it's Christmas Day.
Even if it's not good once they open it, you've got 10, 15 minutes right there.
Nobody knows if it's good or bad. Yeah. I mean, is slime great? No, but they're going to have the best time of their lives doing that.
I'm a little reluctant to bring these up because I know how you feel about them, but I'm going to say they're a sick day hack.
Oh, Amy, don't do this.
Party favor bags.
This is wrong what you're about to do.
Party favor bags.
No. I reject this segment.
Take them. They come.
I'm sorry the podcast had to end this way. It's been a good run, Amy. I've enjoyed working with you, but we've reached the end of our
I'm going to start my own podcast where I just bring people on and we're going to talk about what's good about party favor bags.
There you go.
If they come into your house, some people on this podcast might just throw them out on the way out of the McDonald's and the kids never get them home.
Sight unseen.
In the first place. But if they make it into your house where they sit in your kitchen table for a day or two, I take them and I hide them not far from where I keep my medicines. And then when I have a sick kid, a bored kid, or whatever, much younger nephew come to visit that we don't have toys around for that age anymore, the party favor bags are little Santa sacks of random things that'll buy you 20 to 30 minutes.
I mean, as you know, the only thing I care about in life is eliminating party favor bags from the universe. So I cannot support this. I would also argue that party favor bags are just small sacks of disappointment from which emerge like that stupid Pokemon game where you're supposed to get the tiny marble in the hole and it's too small to actually work. Like maybe for a 2-year-old
there should,
but any 9-year-old worth his salt is going to open that and be like, this is horrible. This is a horrible experience, and throw that party favor bag out the window.
That's a special category, isn't it? Like those, you're right, the little ball bearing that rolls around, or like those like Chinese puzzles, the links, like get this to unlink. And I don't think they actually work. I don't think they're solvable.
My whole, I mean, again, now you've set me off.
Here we go.
Because now we're going down the rabbit hole. But my objection to party favor bags in general is that they've been reduced to tiny, junky versions of things that are so tiny, horrible, and useless that they are literally garbage. Like, you pull it out, you're like, what is it supposed to do? Oh, you're supposed to get the ball in the cup by swinging it with your hand. But the cup is too small and the ball is too light and plasticky. And so it's like you try it twice and you're like, oh, this idea has been reduced to such a horrible, junky plastic version of itself that it no longer retains its original function.
So it becomes just a source of infinite frustration.
It's a source of frustration and planet murder. That is all a party favor bag is.
Well,
that is what I have to say to party favor bags.
I'm going to retract that.
Don't ever mention them again if you know it's good for you.
I'll retract that offering.
I demand a retraction, and I'm glad to have gotten it because we need to be able to move on in peace.
What about art supplies? We talked a little bit about arts and crafts. I have a big like Tupperware tub of art supplies in the kitchen. I stick it in the closet, and it does need a little pruning. It needs some weeding. But when they're sick anyway, first make them do that with you and put all the colored pencils with all the colored pencils and throw away the coloring book that's mostly done at this point. But that in itself is an activity. And then the art supplies, if you have them ready to go, they can come up with something usually.
Art supplies are a great sick day. Great sick day. They're like right up there with Legos. I mean, they're a sick day staple. My kids are very into making comic books right now. That's like their big. I take a bunch of paper, I fold it in half, I put the hash marks on each page, and they draw like comic. They love Captain Underpants, and that's where they got the idea. So like they draw comics.
What do you mean? You put the frames on the pages, you mean?
Yeah, like I take 8x11 paper, I fold it in half, and then I staple the spine so it looks like a little book. Then they write the cover. And then on each page, just because they have trouble drawing them straight, I draw a cross, basically. So then you break each page into 4 panels. And then they draw comic books, which they really like. And that can eat up a lot of time. I will say the art supplies right now, going back to our clutter conversation, are the bane of my existence. I mean, the way our house is set up, you walk in, it's very open floor plan. So you walk in and like the living room and the sitting room and the dining room are all one room. And the dining room table is the only big table in the house. So it's also the art table. And in fact, we had, from my parents' old house, we had a really nice, like, you know, shiny, I don't know anything about furniture, but like a fancy dining room table.
Shiny and fancy, sure.
Shiny and fancy. Like if you did something wrong on it, you would have to strip the whole thing and redo it, basically. And I eventually got that table out and put in like a really messed up, you know, farmy kind of table because it's the art it's got glue and glitter and everything on it because it's the only table space in the house. Our kitchen is like a counter kitchen. So, and it's right next to the burners. Like you can't do art there. And so our dining room table is the art table. And right now my kids are really, really into drawing and art. And it's kind of ruining my life because it's just such a vomit of paper and glitter and pens. And then what I should do is, okay, now we're done. Let's all carefully put everything back together. But of course, what happens is like, oh my God, now it's 8:15. Everyone run to school. And my house constantly looks like an art supply store vomited all over my living room.
We have like our dining room table, our kitchen table. It's the same table. Because we too have this open plan. Let's do an episode about open plan houses for people with children.
We've made mistakes. Both of us have made the same mistake.
Whoever thought that was a good idea, right? Yes, we have one table and one end of it is constantly covered with the art supplies that I don't just want to shut. I want to like get them organized before I put them away. Don't put them away with the glitter spilled all over and so it just sits there. Like the Popeye, it just sits there looking at me like,
Would you stop bringing up that poor hideous fish's eye? It's so upsetting.
Just my
and I will say, here's a mom hack overall, not a sick day hack. When your kids get into art, commit early to throwing their art away. That's my advice. I was like, oh, they're precious comic books. My kids are producing like 19 comic books a week. I throw them all immediately into the trash.
You don't even take pictures.
No,
I take pictures. We have hardcover books
I would
of their
have
little kid art, and it's really
9,000 pictures. It's just the volume that they are creating in art. When they bring home a beautiful piece of art from school, we hang it up for a while. We have like a rotating gallery in the kitchen, but when it comes down, it goes out.
Did you see Stranger Things too?
How much of your art from your childhood do you treasure right now in your life?
I would treasure it if I had it. I mean.
Oh, Amy, what a poor answer. Go back. Can we do that answer again? You would treasure. What would you do with your childhood art if you had 9,000 pieces of it?
No, I disagree. My kids have like cardboard boxes where I save a couple things from each year, and they find it uproariously funny to go through the stuff that they made when they were 4 and 5. You got to save a little bit of it.
All right. You might have a point.
Just a little.
I mean, I don't save none. Yeah. All right.
But did you see Stranger Things too? There's a kid who's.
I'm not a Stranger Things
There's a kid who's obsessed by the shadow monster. Spoiler alert. I mean, that's like on episode 2. But anyway, he's frantically he can't express how he's feeling. So they're like, so Winona Ryder's like, honey, why don't you color? Why don't you show us? And so it just shows him scribbling like for episode after episode. He's just scribble on paper. And eventually their whole house gets taken over with his art that they're taping to the walls. And it becomes like a map. And then it eats the house basically. And
this is what I'm trying to avoid by throwing out every single piece of art my kids
just
produce.
save one. I have a related sick day hack, and this one is actually for when mom is sick, which is a whole other kettle of fish. But this was a hack that somebody put on Momtastic, and it was actually one of the comments. This was a mom who had hyperemesis, which is when you're pregnant and you throw up 18 times a day and you really can't lift your head and you have other children.
Oh, that's what the princess has in England.
That's right. Yes. No, it's bad. I had a friend who had it. And she said what saved her was, of course, one, the TV. But when she couldn't take that anymore, she would roll out butcher block paper on the floor in front of the couch.
This is a good one.
And crayons. And she just...
And if you want to up your game, you trace the kid and you have them draw themselves.
That's pretty good.
My daughter has started getting home from school, these little, she's in kindergarten, like very little, like homework assignments that are, go find something in your house that starts with an F and draw it. And I thought, now that is a solid time wasting activity. Yeah. I mean, go find something in your house that starts with this letter and draw it. It's half an hour right there. Solid. I was like, way to go, kindergarten teacher.
Real Simple magazine had a list of 16 clever ways to entertain a child who's homesick, and scavenger hunt was one of their ideas.
Yeah, I mean, scavenger hunt sounds like one of those things that is only, quote, fun, unquote, to like the Pinterest mom who doesn't actually exist. Like, what's fun? Setting up a scavenger hunt for your kids. And it's like, wow, your idea of fun and my idea of fun are not the same idea of fun.
Yeah, if you it depends on how low or high your kids' standards are, but scavenger hunt can be find something that starts with F and draw it for me. Count how many lamps are in this apartment and let me know.
Solid. I mean, I think we solved it. We got a lot of sick day hacks for you. Basically, blank face it. It's not fun to be homesick. Be very careful of giving them secondary reward. What is exactly the
secondary
phrase?
Gain.
It's not secondary. Watch the secondary gain. So just be very careful and vigilant. And I have experienced this and kind of fought it back. Be careful of feeding the secondary gain with a kid who's especially sick a lot.
But don't make them do times tables if they really are actually sick, because it'll just end up with both of you crying.
Right. There's a fine line between feeding secondary gains and actually torturing your child. So watch that one. And, you'll get through it. Sick
But I'm
days.
sure we forgot some. So we want to know what your sick day hacks are and what you do when your kid's homesick and you can't take it one more minute.
So reach out to us on our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/whatfreshhellcast.
And on Instagram, it's the same thing, What Fresh Hellcast. And on Twitter, it's WFH Podcast. And you can also go to...
You can tweet.
Yes. And you can also go to whatfreshhellpodcast.com, where we will have links to all the lists of sick day hacks that we referred to in this episode.
And if you guys come up with some really good ones, we'll add them there
Absolutely.
as well. It'll be a resource. It'll become a resource for people. Your child is sick, go to whatfreshhellpodcast.com. All of the answers are there.
Okay. Thanks for hacking sick days with me.
And guys, we will see you on our next episode. That's Sick Day Hacks. Bye.